is virtual hypnotherapy when compared with hypnotherapy in person. And by that, I'm talking about online video sessions that we run as hypnotherapists. Hypnotherapist is predominantly a verbal practice, so it's actually very well suited to this format. There is an undeniable reduction in quality than there would be when you're in the room with a person. You can't see them as well, you can't hear them as well, that you can't smell them, and you'd be surprised how much of our language, our communication happens through smell. And then there's, a time delay as well, which can affect things. But actually, depriving senses can definitely increase our sensitivity in other areas and help us to listen to things that we might not be listening for. So I'll give you an example. When I was training in hypnotherapy, we used to do an activity where we would be sat back to back with our clients. So we couldn't see them, and we could only hear them and speak to them. And this had the effect of really tuning our hearing in so that we could listen to the emotion in the voice and the patterns of language that were being used. And then obviously speaking verbally would be a lot more clear, because they wouldn't be able to see our lips move or the way our body language was. So that really did wonders for our effectiveness. But not only that, I was actually working at a language school many years ago, where we used to get people to go into pairs, and then one of the pairs would wear a blindfold and the other one would guide them around Canterbury city centre, and they would keep them safe, but they would also describe the things that they could see around them and paint the picture for them. This had the effect of, again, sort of tuning them into the emotion in people's language and the patterns that people use when they speak, and help them to improve their English. So yeah, it can be incredibly effective. I've actually worked with quite a lot of people online over the years, and way before lockdown even, and I've had incredible results even just over the phone. I do remember a client who was a 60-a-day smoker, and I helped her to just stop cold turkey straight away with one session, and she was really happy with that, really pleased with that. The other thing is that in a way, hypnotherapy is a virtual practice. We're always working with people's internal virtual worlds, their internal representations. So it's not just what you might think of as imagination. We're also talking about internal dialogue. And if you've ever dreamt anything, if you've ever planned anything, if you've ever had a memory or thought about the future, you've been using your internal representation system. So that is where we work together. And it's you could say it's like a canvas, and that's what we're painting on, So we're virtual. We already work virtually. It's part of how we work. So to answer the questions straight, do our clients need to be in the same room with us? No, not at all. Absolutely not. Would connecting over the internet create the same experience as being in the room together? Not quite, but it's not far off as well. But throughout 16 years of experience, I've never found that there's been any diminishment through working in this format. In fact, in many ways, it's been a lot more effective. So I wouldn't take my word for it, though. Have an experience for yourself. Find yourself a hypnotherapist that you trust, and have an experience of virtual hypnotherapy and see what you think. And if it gets you what you want, what more do you need, So thank you very much for your time. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.